So Mitch is looking for a second date update this morning. He went on a date with Carly, and we're going to try to help him out. Hi, Mitch.
Hey, guys. How are you?
We're good. Thank you for asking.
Yeah, I need your help here. I met this woman on Match. She was super cool, super chill. We met for a super casual dinner at Flat. We spent a couple of hours together hanging out and talking. It was great.
Good so far.
Yeah, I mean, it was. I thought she was attractive, sweet. She laughed at my jokes. She made me laugh. She was very quick-witted. I know I was charming, I guess, because, I mean, she was totally reacting to my flirting.
She was reacting positively to your flirting?
Yes, she was flirting back. I don't know. We talked about getting together again. She liked bowling. I like bowling. Maybe bowling for the second date. And, I mean, I got a vibe. She was into me, too. So after dinner, I walked her to her car, hugged her goodbye, and she left. I've texted and I've called, and I still haven't heard anything back. I don't know what to do, so I contacted you guys.
And it was a 2-hour dinner, huh?
Oh, yeah. It felt like it was 35 minutes, but it was, it was a good time.
You were there a couple hours. That's good. Huh.
Yeah.
Would you say you met her on Match?
Yeah, on Match. And it's crazy because it's the first person I've met on Match. It's like my first.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, and I thought, wow, I hit a home run the first time. I was like ready to call Match.com and tell them, this is great. You guys are working perfectly.
It's so
Cancel
funny.
my membership.
Yeah.
I fell in love.
Yeah, because we hear from so many people who just say these dating apps are all the same and it's the same people.
Yeah.
And it's frustrating out there. So it's rare to hear someone say, I went on Match and met someone out of the gate and felt like it was a home run in the sense that we clicked.
Well, I really committed to it. The other dating sites, I don't know, they might not just be for dating, but I decided it's time. It's time for me to put myself out there and be brave and bold. So I filled everything out, and lo and behold, they hooked me up with somebody that I thought was 100% in my realm of everything. And I just don't know what could have gone wrong in the date, or maybe her phone broke or something. I have no idea.
Yeah, maybe your phone broke.
I don't know. I'm kind of having a feeling like maybe it's one of those situations where because this is your first time, you felt like it was incredible. And maybe she kind of felt like, oh my God, I don't know. That's happened before on the show.
Yeah, it's definitely about perspective, I guess.
Yeah, but I love
She didn't have to hang out for 2 hours.
I know, but because that's how long it took to get the food. But I'm just kidding. No, I think you sound pretty fun, though. He's got like this cute confidence just listening to you talk about the situation.
It felt good. We were authentically laughing. Like she wasn't forcing laugh. I might have been a little bit too cocky at one point, but at the same time, I apologized for it and humiliated myself enough. So, I really do think that it was a good date.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've had a couple of them, and I've had a couple of horrible dates.
From Match?
No, not on Match. I tried to attempt it on my own for a while, and
Gotcha.
then I attempted Bumble, and I got attacked by a woman's Rottweiler. It was crazy, but it was not a good day.
Remind us to follow up on that later.
All right, well, why don't we take a break? When we come back, we'll call Carly and see what she thought of Mitch and her date with him, and if there's any chance of getting these two together again for a second date. A second date update continues. Despite any frustration you may have with the dating apps, assuming you're out there navigating Match or Bumble or Plenty of Fish or whatnot, Mitch had a great experience with Match out of the gate. Very first person he connected with. Felt like he hit it out of the park. These two really gelled. They had a nice dinner for 2 hours and seemed like she got his sense of humor and there was mutual flirting involved. Talked about possibly getting together and going bowling next time around, but when he reached out, she never responded, and here we are. So now Mitch is trying second date update for the first time, and we're hoping this will be as successful as his Match experience was. I just think it's interesting that you're just so bullish on Match, because even though we have a lot of people who come on saying that they met on Match, They also share a certain frustration that feel like it's a lot of the same people and not a great dating pool. So let's hope this works out. Mitch, you ready to call her? Is there anything else important you think we need to know before we reach out to Carly?
I can't think of anything else. And yeah, I mean, I am kind of pro Match.com. I'll tell you. So,
Well, let's see how this goes.
Hello.
Hello, is this Carly?
Yes, it is. Who's calling?
Hi there, it's Jeff and Jen, along with Fritch and Tim at Q102. How are you this morning?
I'm good. Is this the second date update?
Yes. Have you?
Oh, wow.
By the way, before we say any more, I'm just curious, from a user standpoint, how has your experience been on Match? Because we just got a raving review from your friend Mitch.
Oh. It's not easy out there. I mean, it's a challenge, finding the right person. And sometimes you meet someone, you think they're really nice, and then there's something very strange about them. And that's what happened this time.
What you mean with Mitch specifically?
Yeah, I mean, it was the weirdest thing I ever heard. Like, we had a good date, we had fun, we laughed, and the whole time I thought I'd be willing to see him again. But then, so we're leaving, and he calls an Uber instead of just getting in the car. And I said, oh, well, you're being really responsible. Does one drink have that much effect on you? You don't want to drive? And he said, no, I just refuse to drive in the rain.
What?
He refuses to drive in the rain. Was the rain super heavy that night?
Guys, it was sprinkling out. I mean, just drizzling, like barely. He had his car. He had one drink. I mean, for me, that's not the conditions under which you need to call an Uber. I was like, okay, all right. I didn't know what to say to him. And
You sure he wasn't kidding?
no, he wasn't kidding.
So he got in the Uber?
Yeah, and I left in my car, and I'm like, I just wonder, like, how do you go through your whole life without driving in the rain? I mean, I start imagining.
Yeah, wait till the snow or a nice day.
Right.
Chris used to work with a lady who did the same thing. She'd have her elderly parents drive her to and from work as a 50-year-old because it was raining out or snowing or whatever.
Oh, no.
Really?
I'm just wondering, like, what if you're on your way home and it's raining? Then what do you do? Pull over and call an Uber? I mean,
Yeah. Do you
how
stop
does
the
all
car?
that work?
I feel like we're not getting the whole story here. Let me bring Mitch into the conversation because we got him on the other line. Mitch, you still there?
I am.
What is she talking about?
Well, she's not wrong. I had one drink, but that wasn't the thing. When I was 19 years old, I was on 75, and we got caught in rain, and I hydroplaned, and I almost went over the sidewall, and it was like a horrible wreck, shut down the highway, and I've gone to therapy for years about this, and I just get real anxiety when it comes to driving in rain. I mean, in snow, I don't really have a problem, and I know it is both water. But
I know that's so strange because I feel like snow or freezing rain is more dangerous than just rain.
Well, freezing rain, I won't even leave the house. I mean,
understandable.
It's not, but snow, I'm fine. It's just that, it was such a wonderful night that as soon as it started to rain, I was like, okay. And I know Carly's right. It was kind of misting, but I checked my phone and they said showers definitely going to happen. And I just decided that it's better for me with the anxiety that I carry for rain to not be on the road. So I just took the cab home, woke up early the next day, went and got my car, drove, everything was fine.
So, and you have no problem with other people driving in the rain?
No, but I didn't want to impose, on the first day. I didn't want to say, hey, why don't you give me a ride home? And, that kind of thing. So I just decided it was probably the best thing. And I really didn't want to get into, like, on the first date. Here's my anxiety that is to the point where I need to, and I have an Uber fund. I'm really good with money. So, like, I have a constant amount of money for Uber.
You have an Uber fund?
Yeah, I have a savings account for Uber and Lyft.
You take it that often?
Specifically.
I mean, we're in the Midwest,
Well,
Jeff. It rains a lot here. Seriously.
Evidently.
I know, but I just keep thinking about her having to take care of you in this situation. Is that something that she would be open for if this went down the road?
I would never ask her to do that. Like, if we were, if she wanted to go, I don't mind buying her an Uber, having her pick her up at her house and then drive us out to the same location. Like, I mean, I don't, there's no problem with Ubers in me. And I do understand that it is an odd problem, but it's, that accident was, I was in the hospital for like 37 days.
Oh,
after
wow.
that accident. I went through 11 surgeries.
Oh my
So
gosh.
it was a serious psychological event.
Right. I get it.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I'm fine, but I'm not a guy who drives in the rain.
So, Carly, we've been doing this second date update for quite some time. I feel like a guy who just doesn't like to drive in the rain is pretty minimum on the crazy stuff we've
Pretty
talked about.
tame.
Oh, yeah.
Is that something you think you could get past now that you have a little more insight on it?
I'm so sorry to hear that he got in such a bad accident, and that sounds very traumatic, but at the same time, it's way too limiting for me. I need to be with someone who's able to drive in the rain. I mean, it's kind of sad. To me, it's a lot of wasted money on Ubers. If that's what he has to do, fine, but that doesn't work for me. I'm sorry. Maybe give me a call when you've worked through this trauma.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Mitch.
Hey, man, it turns out Match.com ain't that great. I don't know what to say.
Hey, it doesn't guarantee a relationship. It just gets you a match. The rest is up to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. If there's any woman out there who doesn't like to drive in the rain, there's somebody on Match.com waiting. That's what I can say.
Look for Mitch.
Yeah.
All right, buddy. Well, good luck out there.
Thank you.
And thank you, Carly,
Thank you.
for taking the call. Best of luck to you as well.
Sure. Thank you.
Take it easy. Stay safe.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.